Dave Chappelle paid a visit to his old high school, Duke Ellington School of the Arts, to address the never-ending controversy surrounding his stand-up special, The Closer. Chappelle's alma mater was set to name a theater after Dave this month, but the backlash from his special caused the ceremony to be postponed until April. In the Q&A that was held last week, Chappelle was welcomed with a mixture of cheers and boos and also called a bigot and childish. After the meeting, Chappelle took to Instagram and posted, "If you object to my receiving this honor, I urge you to donate to the school," noting your objection. "If you are in favor of the theater being named Chappelle, I urge you to donate to the school," noting your approval. Whichever opinion donates the highest collective dollar amount wins. Today we have our Comedy Hype analysts, Vanessa Fraction, Capone, and Pierre on the show, and we have to ask, how do you feel about Dave's challenge? Now, Pierre, I know Dave called you the great one, so I'm gonna, in that liking and loving, I'm gonna come to you first. What do you think about Dave's response to this? What's your reaction to that? Him receiving that backlash and responding this way. What are your thoughts?
Well, receiving the backlash, I thought is a little bit ridiculous, and I didn't really like to disrespect those children, those kids. Pushed on Dave Chappelle by saying the things they said to him. I mean, this man has went through a lot to get to the point where he is, and just to try to, act like he's whimsical, like he really doesn't matter anymore, and he's disrespectful and so forth and childish. It's ridiculous for another child to call a grown man that worked so hard, to put, not to say put the school on the map, because the school's been on the map. I'm from DC, but to say that, they should have pride that man came from that school and he represents that school. So, and the way he handled it, I think he handled it like a G, perfect, man. He said, "Hey, I'm taking it out of my hands and putting it in your guys' hands. If you think I should have the place named after me, cool. If not, I'm cool too." Just enough to be bold enough to walk away from it. You got to give him kudos and say, "Hey, if you don't want my name on it, I'll leave. It ain't no big deal to me if you do it like that." So I respect that majorly.
Right. Vanessa, I want to pose that same question to you. What's your reaction? How do you feel about Dave's challenge given the backlash that he received?
I think he kept it cute in handling it. Definitely by saying, "Hey, if you want to do it this way, like if you don't want it that bad, put your money where your mouth is," type of situation. I love the fact that no matter what, the school is still going to win with those donations. I think that that's nice. I'm more with Pierre on understanding the totality of this man's career and to not belittle or make light of what he has done and his contributions to the arts. You know what I mean? Like when you name a theater after somebody, it's not because of one thing. It's about how they have affected the art that they're in and being there at Duke Ellington and the strength of his career. It's something to be proud of. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really dope that he continues to go back to that school and shows his pride and where he came from. And as Pierre said, that he was willing to step aside if this is what you truly want, because the school is more important. And so let's give these donations to the school and you can name it what you want. You know what I mean? So I thought he kept it very cute.
Absolutely. Now I want to come to you, Capone, but I can't help but notice that you have a special guest with us. Who you got on with you?
I got my little son that refuses to leave my side while I work. His mother had to take care of some business today, and so it's just me and him, and we're planning on having a good day, but for some reason, he don't want me to have a good day.
Well, that's all right. We appreciate you bringing him on now. I do want to throw that same question to you. What's your reaction, and how do you feel about Dave's challenge?
Well, I personally think that he handled it pretty well, the part about putting donations, but this is a clear sign why a lot of people don't go back to their old neighborhoods or old things, because these type of opinions are very unnecessary. When somebody is doing something that's good in a very good perspective of how things are, and you still get ridiculed and called all kinds of names, is really, really messed up on the halves of the kids. I think that was disrespectful all the way around. But like Pierre said, he definitely handled it like a G.
Right, and I think he showed his true intention. Like, regardless of the backlash that I received, I'm still doing what's best for the school. Now, I do want to read the school's reaction to this. They did release a statement, and it states, "While we appreciate Dave's impromptu and spirited fundraising initiative, we stand behind our decision to honor the wishes of our co-founder, the late Peggy Cooper Kafritz, to name the theater after Chappelle. All donations will go towards arts programming, and every donor, in perspective of their support or opposition to the theater naming, will receive an official thank you from our team." Now, I want to come to you, Vanessa. What are your thoughts about the school responding to Dave's challenge? Him saying like, "Hey, yes, I received backlash, but I'm going to step forward and be able to say I still want to receive donations for the school?
I thought the school did a great job of standing their ground on what their intentions are and what they want and what's going to be best for the school moving forward. I like some of the statement that they had also sent out saying that our purpose is not to form a uniformity of viewpoints, but to help instill genuine, respectful curiosity and perspectives that challenge one's own. And then they talked about the debates that the children brought up and stuff like that. So I appreciate the fact that, yes, we're going to listen to you, but in the end, we're still going to do what we feel is right. And we're still going to respect someone for their career and for their contributions, not only to the schools, but to the arts. And I like what they did.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I want to come to you next, Pierre. What are your thoughts about the school's response?
I applaud them. I'm liking the fact that people are pushing back against this whole culture, cancel culture. You know, you're not going to just win every time, okay? It's not, every little thing can be nitpicked. This man is in fact, the money's being donated to the school. It's going to help the school out tremendously. But let me ask you something. Those kids who are yelling at him and he's this and he's childish, let's go back. Let's go 10 years forward and let's see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? How they contribute to society in 10 years from now. Okay, we know what Dave has done since the time he's came out of that school. Let's see what these kids are who open their mouths about you childish and all this kind of stuff. Right now, they're just feeling themselves. You know, they're young, they're 19, 20 years old. They're just feeling themselves, you know. But let's see what they do to help further along the whole situation they believe in. Okay, so I applaud the school. School shouldn't have backed down, and they didn't back down, and good. And hopefully more schools and more situations don't back down. Because as comedians, we're getting tired of it. We're getting tired of it. And Dave, I thank you so much for fighting the fight, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the strongest person out there. You have no brands to worry about, that you can fight the fight. And I'm glad you're doing it. And I'm glad he's helping out the comedians and other people who want to express themselves, that everyone's not going to love you. So I'm happy.
Capone, I'll bring that same question to you. What are your thoughts about the school's response?
I'm just laughing at Pierre saying that the students is 19 and 20 years old. They were supposed to have been out of school. Now we know.
I'll think about how long it took me to get out of school.
These are grown people. But kudos to Dave, man. I mean, he is definitely showing us what being a human and having rights is really all about, man. He has not backed down for no challenge. He's dealing with them head on, people who criticize him. And I love it, man. I love it. I just wish I had those type of opportunities too, because speaking your mind is definitely a gift. And a lot of people are really, really missing that gift.
Right. I mean, I think y'all said it best. I think Dave is the person for this challenge. He stepped up to the plate and is really pushing forward. You know, he has Netflix that has stood behind him, and now as well as his school. So I think it's moving in the right direction. I appreciate you all for chiming in. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. How do you feel about Dave's challenge after the backlash he received? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in the comments.
For Comedy Hype News.
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 For Comedy Hype News, I'm Jay Will.
Looking for nostalgia? We got classic comedy films. Looking for something original? We got never-before-seen stand-up specials. Looking for funny, dope content? It's all right here at Comedy Hype. Sign up for Comedy Hype streaming platform at comedyhype.com.